Okay. Hello. Hello, Gia.
Hello. Oh, you did it. Okay.
Yeah. I think maybe a new side effect of my current medication, and as we're trying to remove the stigmas attached to assorted medications,
Medication, sure.
yeah,
Is
venlafaxine is what I'm taking, and I think it makes my fingers shake a little bit. But
uh-oh.
anyway, America and the world, I hit the start button and then I immediately hit the stop button, so we had to
Yeah. A lot of
begin
stopping and
again.
starting. Yeah.
So it's definitely a Monday here. How about where you are, Gia?
Also here, yes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
Monday feeling. Yeah, but it's all
yeah,
right. And I feel
yeah,
like I just watched today's episode, and I felt like I really could apply a lot of my ER learning, my ER
yeah.
knowledge.
I was excited because, well, I didn't. Well, first of all, they had more hospital staff than we've seen in a long time.
Yep, yep. I
I
can't
like
think of her
that.
name, but that one nurse is back.
Dina, yeah, Dina
Dina.
was
Okay, I
back.
like
Yeah,
Dina. Yeah.
yeah. And also one of the guys, he didn't use the abbreviation for what is it, GCS, the GCS. Like every time they
Well,
bring
they
somebody into the ER,
GSW.
that's a gunshot wound. This is
Right.
the
They did use that.
but there was also like a something like coma scale, which was one one
Uh,
one.
okay. All
And I
right.
think on ER they usually say GCS 9 or whatever. Probably there's no
Uh,
9, but I couldn't remember what that stood for. Um,
I haven't heard
so
lavage yet, but I'm waiting for that.
no, I know, I know,
Yeah.
you know.
Or a bolus or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't help but note what a huge contrast there was in this silent bringing in of this one
one
emergency
patient.
guy on a
Yeah,
stretcher. And
yeah.
if it's on ER, like the bongos and the drums all start,
There's so and
and
there's a
there's a
lot of shouting from
everybody's
everybody.
shouting, especially
Yeah,
if Eric LaSalle is on. It's like, all right, people, let's go, go,
yeah,
go, 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 and
yeah,
they're all just screaming. And
yeah,
this was this silent, empty
yeah.
hospital with like three people.
Yep. Yeah, you never see any other like patients or people waiting to visit
Right, right.
patients, there's
Do you
nothing.
think there's still like, is it still COVID that, or is it monetary
I
reasons
think
that keep
it
them
must be
from
monetary reasons.
having
Yeah.
the hospital just have people walking around at least or something? I mean,
Yeah.
have you ever been in a hospital that's that empty? I never have.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
they're always packed.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
so rarely in hospitals, but
Oh,
I
you
think
should try it. I just love it.
I know you do. But yeah, I think
Well, anyway, generally
maybe
they're
it's
packed.
yeah, yeah, and it's nice when it looks just a teeny bit closer to the real thing.
Yeah. Another
Um,
another thing I noted, I know we're just jumping in today with like talking about General Hospital of all freaking things. Um, they said while we were at the pool, which is like somebody went to the dollar store, they're
I
like, "Oh my
like
God, it's 4th of July."
I
We better
I know, I
get out
know.
the bunting and the little
Yeah,
those
the
little
little
like I don't know
stupid
wooden
flag
flags
things.
that were sitting there
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't know, it's supposed to be a high dollar hotel and they
I
anyway. Uh
know.
don't get me going on that. But I thought that they didn't use enough blood. They kept they she
Yeah, that
Portia was
he
like, "Oh, there's
lost a
so much
huge
blood." I was like,
amount of
"No, there
blood.
isn't. There's just this one
Uh-huh.
little blob of
Yeah,
ketchup right there, use a
yeah.
bottle."
Mhm. Mhm. Use a
And
bottle.
and then even when they brought him in, shouldn't there have been blood like everywhere? And when they transferred him, and like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, did Elizabeth and Finn have any blood on them? I wasn't
Nope,
paying. Yeah.
nope.
Hmm.
What'd you think of Elizabeth's outfit?
um I I I know they got a deal on satin recently. so
Yeah. Oh,
so
right.
we're seeing a
Because
lot of
Jordan
satin.
Jordan was wearing like a satin halter
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. But no, I don't like the sort of asymmetrical style. Um and
Okay.
yeah, I mean she
I didn't
looked
remember that about
fine.
you. I'm gonna have to undo some gifts I've purchased for you out of asymmetrical stylings. that I've purchased for you.
Wow. Like a
Did you
gown?
have? Did you have? Yeah. Did you have an asymmetrical haircut in the 80s?
Well,
And remember how everybody used to have like this one long wedge on one side, and then the other side was shaved off?
no, I didn't. Yeah, I don't think I supported that either.
I had
Um,
a girlfriend who had that. She's not listening. Her name's Cheryl. um, anyway, she did that really well. Like she actually looked
huh.
really cool,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah,
kind of a
I
Boy
could see
George
that.
inspired or something. But
Okay.
anyway, so you
Okay.
didn't like the asymmetrical. Yeah, I don't know why they put her in things that show how skinny, like her
Yeah.
little shoulder blades are just sticking out,
Yeah,
you
she
know?
looks like just a child.
I just want to get her a sandwich so badly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, it smells
Yeah.
foul in here tonight
Do you
because
smell like an Italian sub?
no, it's not me, but somebody
Oh.
gave my husband an air fryer and he's cooking chicken out
Oh,
there.
oh,
And it
geez.
takes up the entire counter. We have a very tiny
Yeah.
counter and it's plunked
Uh-huh.
right there. I'm like, Jesus, there's
Uh-huh.
no like this, that's got to live there. I don't
Uh,
know. What is the deal with the
yeah.
air fryers?
Yeah. I don't know, Gia. I have nothing to say about the air
I
fryer.
thought the appeal of frying was that it was in oil and that's what everybody liked about it.
Well, yeah, and I guess this sort of mimics that effect, but without the fat, I don't know. But
Didn't we decide fat was okay now?
no.
Weren't we all
No.
like fat loading? Damn
No,
it,
not
I'll have
all
to
of us.
stop.
Not all of us. No.
Well, anyway, I don't know. I'm a little. What makes it different than just a convection oven? What's it doing?
I
How is it frying? That's not really frying.
I thought what's happening?
I'm angry about this. It happened without my knowledge and/or consent, and suddenly this
Yeah.
this monstrous thing is living on the counter, taking up all the real estate.
I don't know if you
And
remember me,
and there's
but
chicken in it now, and it stinks in here. I do not
yeah.
like the smell of cooking poultry.
Okay. Okay.
Sam, I am.
I know that is how you sounded. um, but you may not remember me, but I
Pretty
use
well.
I use a toaster oven 99% of the time.
Oh yeah, well we have one of those because we don't have a functioning
Mhm.
oven. Which, honest to
Mhm.
God, I wouldn't miss it myself. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
but you do a lot of baking. I would think you would
That's the
miss.
only thing I use the oven for.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have a toaster oven, which occasionally, you can grill a little something, something.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's useful. Toast, obviously,
Very, very handy. Yep. Yep.
but the air fryer, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
I don't know,
can't
Gia.
imagine it's
I
gonna
know
be.
I know everybody was all excited about them. I
Up
don't know if
about
that's
it.
worn off at all,
Like,
but
is a French fry gonna taste good if it's not done in oil?
I I can't tell you that, Gia. I don't
Like,
know.
isn't that why it tastes good? Like,
I don't know how to get you off this topic.
you want to talk about green tea for a while?
No. Is
That's another thing that
that our
takes the
only other
pleasure out of life.
option?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I started off so
Yeah,
well. I was talking
you
about
did.
hospital. Okay,
I know
get
we
back
were
to
going
it. Go ahead. Go
strong.
ahead.
Okay. Um, let's see. I know it was exciting to have a gunshot ring out, and I have
Yeah,
to confess when like that episode ended, I thought, "Huh, I wonder if they're getting rid of Curtis." And then
I know. I thought, uh-oh, they really are listening to
I
us.
know. I don't know if I want all that
Drew's been
power.
hauled off to Pentonville. They've shot Curtis.
Who do we want to get
Power's
rid of
gonna go to
next?
our heads. I know. Our little voodoo dolls are
Yeah.
working.
So yeah, I don't know. I felt a little bit bad, not really, but Um and then I wondered,
I don't know. The cliche. It's a little cliched. The whole like bullet lodged next to the spine, and we're gonna
yeah,
have to wait
yeah,
and find out
close
if he's
call.
paralyzed.
Yeah.
And
And of
yeah,
course, like he and Portia can now sort of fast forward to where life is too short to.
I suppose so. Yeah. Okay. Oh, one other thing, just to get rid of my negativity that
Okay.
annoyed me was that would somebody please acknowledge that Trina has terrible laryngitis?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Did Trina have laryngitis? Because at first I thought something was caught in her throat, but then it got worse, it seemed like.
Yeah, and like the realistic thing to do would be to say, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you sound terrible," and she could say, "Oh, I have this summer cold. I just, like,"
Mhm.
or some acknowledge it. It was
Yeah,
just ridiculous.
I know.
And another thing, okay, I'm almost done. So Dex shows up at their little
Uh-huh.
picnic where
Yeah.
Trina and Joss are having a heart to heart.
Yeah.
And he said, I brought iced lattes, which is nice, lovely.
Yeah.
But he
Mhm.
only had two. Does that mean he didn't want one? Or he had
Oh,
one and he was gallantly giving it up to one of them? Like, did he not know there were going to be three people altogether? Like, why would you make that mistake if you're buying iced lattes?
well, I'm assuming Joss would have told him she was having a picnic with
With
Trina.
Trina, right? Because they were, wanted to get to know each other better. I don't know. It just felt like
No,
attention to
like
detail was off.
no, I mean like she Dex surprised them, right? But he knew that Joss was meeting Trina, is what I'm thinking. So he brought the two for them.
Why wouldn't he have one for himself?
maybe maybe he already had
Everyone
his, like
likes
you said.
an iced latte.
I I don't know what's happening, but you're being very difficult. I can't talk to you when you're like this. We're going to
Okay.
lose our 9 people in Ireland.
Yeah. Irish coffee is delicious too.
There you go. Okay, we got him back.
Okay.
um yeah,
We
I
could talk about that Bono special I watched a while ago. That
okay, yeah, you did. We didn't you talk about that once before?
I know, but I'm just saying if you're worried about the Irish
Oh,
audience.
okay. Maybe they think they have more going on than just Bono.
Yeah, I guess that's like when somebody meets you and you're from Tennessee, you probably
Yeah,
know
so
blah
you
blah
might.
blah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh-huh.
sorry. All right, you I should let you run the show because I'm being difficult. I acknowledge that.
It's okay. That's okay, Gia. Well, I as soon as I watched both episodes today, and then I sort of immediately forgot everything that happened, and I had to like kind of search my mind, and I don't know if I should have been more engaged because it was kind of exciting to have something happen for
Yeah,
once, you know.
right.
But then it seemed like it was all kind of anticlimactic because the shooter got away. And then, like, the fact that Dante and Chase found the gun so easily seems like that was staged or something. I don't know.
Right, like planted, like they want them
Yeah.
to make certain assumptions.
Yeah. So
And it
I don't
looked to
know.
me like they were leaning towards, maybe this is going to be Anna who's the target,
Hmm.
that it,
Yeah.
um, but I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to think about that.
Yeah. I don't either. And I know he can't, but I sort of wish Sonny would loop Anna into this deal that he's been
The
sort of
Pikeman
forced
deal,
into.
right.
Yeah, because I'd like her take on it. I don't know.
Why can't he loop her in? She's
Yeah,
not, well, as she pointed out, she's not affiliated with any
right.
law enforcement.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he just doesn't want to get her, make her sort of involved or, at
Yeah,
risk if she knows too much.
right. Yeah.
But I do like their relationship. I'll say that again.
Yeah, kind of a professional friendship sort of respect
Mhm. Mhm.
thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What
And
else happened Friday? Do you have any inkling of things Friday? Because I really don't. But
what happened on Friday? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
was the stuff we
Yeah.
need to talk about?
Um, sheesh.
Oh, I
um,
kind of we had like a big family meal at the Metro Court with
yeah, that
Tracy
was
and
Friday, right?
Tracy.
Yeah, when
Yeah, that
Tracy
was
crashed
Friday.
their little dinner there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
uh, that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Uh,
We didn't get anything out of that really, except
no,
that Chase's suspicions are,
are
arisen,
raised a little bit, right?
erased. Yeah.
Right, and then you get the hint of judgy, mean Chase as opposed to I love everything
hmm
you do, Brooklyn Chase.
Right, right. So
Uh,
yeah, that didn't last very long. I
and
love
are we
everything.
raising the possibility of Tracy and Gregory having some romantic spark?
Hi.
Will there be a rivalry between Alexis and Tracy over this big fat dud Gregory?
Well, I hope not. Also, it seems like he's been asymptomatic for a while now, and it's
Right. He just had that one violent day where it was like he was totally taken over
yeah.
by it.
And
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of the Willow storyline where they can't seem to like really figure out what to do with the actual
Yeah.
illness, you know?
Yeah. I don't
Um,
think they know what to do with Gregory. Like, I feel like
no.
he was probably some great legacy soap actor
hmm
that everybody was like, oh, he is too good to pass up.
Yeah, he
We
was
need
like
to
a
use him.
prime time actor.
Is he? I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I felt like they wanted him, but they just
hmm
haven't worked him
hmm
in effectively
Yeah.
yet.
hmm
So he was
Right.
primetime? He doesn't look familiar to me.
Yeah, Gregory Harrison. But
What was he on?
all right, let me.
Was
I
he not?
can't
He
remember.
must not have been on Star Trek.
That's right, Gia. He was not on Star Trek. Turns out several people were not on Star Trek.
I was
He's
watching. I follow this. I started following this guy on Instagram, and he's a musician, and he's like such a super smarty pants nerdy. Like
uh-huh.
talks about all different, this medieval
Uh-huh.
beat that came, blah blah. And he
Yeah.
and he. And sometimes it's interesting, and sometimes it's like, oh my god, like
Mhm.
Gregorian chants from blah blah whatever. But he
Uh-huh.
brought up the different scales, I guess, used in this Star Trek themes of all the
Uh,
different Star Trek themes.
uh-huh.
And I
Wow.
was like, this is why I like this guy.
Wow.
And then he
Again,
mentioned, and I have said this. There's a Star Trek called Enterprise with
yeah.
that Scott Bakula guy,
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
and it's got this, like, I don't know. It sounds like some sort of Canadian pop rock song for the opening.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sounds nothing like the other Star Trek themes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so this guy on Instagram, he said, and then there's Star Trek Enterprise. We don't talk about Star Trek Enterprise. And I was like, oh my God.
So is he your
Uh,
soulmate?
I think he might be. I just felt validated in that moment. I
Okay.
don't ever feel that with you.
I was having such a hard time paying attention for the last 5 minutes.
Were you actually doing work or something?
I shot off a few emails. No, I was looking up Gregory Harrison. He was on, believe it or not, Trapper John MD. So he has a TV medical
Uh,
background. So they should have made him a
okay.
doctor.
I only vaguely remember that show. Was that the guy that was in MASH?
Yeah, seems like
Or it was supposed to
yeah,
be, or was it based
like
on the guy that was
yeah,
Trapper?
right,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
but it wasn't that actor, I don't think.
right. I think you're right there. So
Which
that's
is
all I have on that
that's a
one.
stupid move. I think I probably didn't watch it just on those grounds alone.
It was Trapper John was on from 79 to 86. That's a pretty long
Wowie
run.
zowie. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I avoided
hmm
it probably almost that entire time.
That entire time, yeah. So
Huh,
anyway, where were we?
okay.
This has
Well, I
been
was saying that the
excruciating.
the character Gregory is a big dud, and I think they're
Yeah.
trying him out with Tracy now, or that's what
hmm
it felt like they were gonna do there. I don't know.
See, now if he'd been brought in as like maybe like an aging doctor, I don't know if they would have hired somebody that old. I mean, he doesn't look as old as he really is, but then his disease, obviously would have interfered with his ability
Right,
to,
right,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yep.
anyway,
That would have been more interesting storyline than going this newspaper route when
which
the
is
entire world of newspaper is about to croak.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
on
hmm
life support to keep these medical images going.
Mhm.
Try and bag him. I love the whole procedure of getting the tube down their throat. Can you see
Yeah.
the cords and all?
Yeah.
I'm always very tense until they get that done.
I know, me too. And it seems like what's his name? Noah Wiley is really good at that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Was he
Mhm.
on the entire time?
I don't
You
know.
know,
I think I'm
because
still in
he may be my favorite. You guys asked the other day when
yeah.
we had your friend Adam on, who was my
Mhm.
favorite, and I said
Mhm.
Carol, Nurse Carol, but
Mhm.
I might be switching to Noah Wiley now.
Okay. Well, he's definitely like his character has gone through like sort of an evolution, right? And I'm not that far into the series. Like I'm on, I think, towards the end of season 3.
Well, I feel like I ought to ruin some of it for you because you and Adam told me that Dr. Romano, who now I've met, is going to
Uh-huh.
be killed by a helicopter. And
Yeah.
every time I see the guy, I'm like, oh, I know
You
what
hear that
happens to you, Yeah.
and you look in the sky.
Yeah, because I'm waiting because they do bring him in on the choppers and he might,
Yeah, they
so
do.
waiting for
Yeah.
him to bite it. So thanks a lot,
Uh-huh.
you two.
Sorry. Sorry, Gia. Sorry.
So,
Um,
yeah, Noah Wiley, yeah, his character does but he kind of goes through some dark stuff and then comes back
mhm.
out and is
Yeah. Uh-huh.
more, I don't know. He's got a lot of heart. I like the
He
character.
does. Yeah, and yeah, right. A little while he becomes like that sort of competitive surgeon kind of guy,
Right,
like everybody
right.
seems to be angling for their position, and he
Yeah, and
loses sight of what he
the
was really.
patience, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes me
yeah.
wonder if it's truly like that. It must be. I don't
Mhm.
know a lot of doctors. I have a few family members that,
And then just the ones you've alienated
yeah, the
tried
ones
to
I've
help you.
alienated, my doctors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing what they're telling me. Back off.
After
Just
they answer a series of questions that you've generated by watching YouTube videos.
yeah, I send them links all the time. Like, watch this.
It'd be so
I don't.
funny.
Wouldn't that be funny? I would love to. But I would love to be, if you had the time, which you don't, but
Uh-huh.
I would love to be like, can you just give me your take on what they're saying about cholesterol medications? Can you just tell
Uh-huh.
me, why this is bullshit or
Uh-huh.
not,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
not like you're going to sit and watch a 40-minute long YouTube with your doctor, like
No.
they want you out of there.
Yeah. Well, my doctor, it's a different model. It's like you pay a membership
Your
fee.
doctor's a model?
She could be. She's cute. She's real cute. Um, well, I pay like $75 a month, and then I can text her and call her or whatever I want, and there's no fee or anything for all of that stuff. And when I went in to see
That
her,
would be dangerous if it were me.
I know you would be sending her links. But when I went in to like renew my migraine prescription and try it to figure out what I could take as a preventative, she spent an hour and a half with me talking
Oh my
about like the
God.
things that affect my head, all this stuff. Yeah, I felt bad taking all that time. It was like the end of the day
Wow.
too, so
That's really encouraging, though.
yeah, it was
I
a
mean,
different experience. Yeah,
oh,
definitely. And she
maybe you
left
should
all
tell her
those.
about bar shampoo. Maybe you could be friends.
I
Like,
did
and
give her a Tano t-shirt.
oh, oh my God, I hope
and
she doesn't look it up. She'll
an
be like, I know
awkward
where you've got a
silence
migraine.
followed.
Yeah.
Well, she said her mom watches General Hospital,
Oh
so,
no.
so
If
that
she finds
shows
out about us, yeah,
our
it'll be.
demographic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay. I'm okay
but
with that.
anyway, so I think maybe the future of healthcare eventually will evolve back towards something, where people
Something
actually
more
get
like
to
that.
talk to their doctor. I don't
Yeah.
know, because I think being a doctor is miserable now because you do have to, get people in and out most of the time.
Yeah, well, and ER foreshadows all that Well, not forced. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
long but all the stuff about insurance and
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
ridiculous nature of
Yeah.
all that crap. But,
Yeah. All of the medical shows address that stuff now.
yeah,
The current ones. Yeah.
But anyway, we're drifting away from our original medical drama, which is General Hospital.
Which is afraid of medical drama.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I have another question. Were those new headshots in the opening?
Oh, they might have been. Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
everybody get new headshots? And I failed to pay attention to whether this Molly was on them or not, because I'm just wondering if she's going to be a permanent Molly or not.
Yeah, I don't know. What did you think of this latest episode with Molly?
Today's episode was pretty good. I liked her talking about Christina, kind of sucking all the air out of the family. Drama, and I kind of liked seeing that side of her, and yeah, she felt a little more real to me as the character today.
Yeah, I was glad that she and TJ kind of got back to like a better place.
Although it looked like they were in a cage the whole time, which is
I know that was a weird spot.
I guess that's sort of supposed to be an industrial chic kind of bar or something, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. But so yeah, I guess that made her feel I mean, now we've seen her enough times that I'm adjusted. I don't every time go, oh, who the hell's that? But so we'll just have to get used to these new people.
Yeah.
And of course the dilemma now that they've set up is that Christina has rethought offering herself as a surrogate, and Molly was warming to the idea, and so now there'll be
I know. Well, that seemed a little fast for her to come around.
Like gift to the Magi or something. Not really.
It seemed like Molly was like acting like she needed a long time to sort of work through this, and then all of a sudden she's come around. So
yeah. And would that really work for anybody to know that you were really the child's aunt, and the real biological mother would you really be able to stay away from that child? No, I
don't think so.
I just think that dynamic would be so. I mean, maybe if you pledge to live in different states for all your lives, but I can't imagine. Knowing that was your biological child and just being like, nope, totally hands off. I'm just handing her over.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, if let's say they do go through with this, then are we going to have one of those sort of battles where she wants to keep the baby or something? I don't want that kind of thing.
Or the other thought was that she and TJ would get close, and because they were actually having the child together. It's a can of worms, that's for sure.
It is a can of worms, yeah.
And that's a weird phrase. Did worms at some point come in cans? For fishing or something?
Yes, they did. Next topic.
or is that because you'd go out and collect worms and put them in cans? I don't remember. I used to help my brother get them when he was fishing.
For fishing, yeah.
Fishing for a while, and we'd go out and I don't remember what we put them in though. Anyway.
Are you okay?
I think it's the Crestor. Honest God, yeah. I've had a few.
You sound stuffy too. Are you?
I am stuffy. That's the lawn care service.
Okay.
Grass on my snout.
Okay.
I have had a few really forgetful moments over the past week.
Yeah.
Forgetting song lyrics. And I don't know if that's just being distracted and then and suddenly, or forgetting, did I let the cat out or not? Or is that just standard, or is it the drug? I don't know.
I don't know either, Gia. Yeah, because I have moments like that too. But
then I have a little freak, because it also could just be the Alzheimer's,
Right. Yeah.
That's the thing marching behind me at all times with the big sickle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun feeling.
It's a great feeling.
They did just FDA approve a.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you read articles about the Alzheimer's drug that I don't know? It slows the progression by like some minuscule amount. Like that's what
Yeah,
they.
and I don't know if like slowing the progression is really good news, you know? I mean,
Well, if
short
you
of a
know early
cure,
enough, it would be good news. You know,
I
if you can
guess so. I guess if you could
maintain a
sort of
quality of life
stave it off,
early.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
But if it
thinking you need
just
something to
means
speed it up. Just
yeah,
yeah, well, once you know, like let's go ahead and get
yeah.
this show on the
Right,
road. 'Cause
right. Yeah, I don't want more
exactly, I know.
years of it, you know?
Right.
So,
I know. That's really
anywho,
yeah.
but here we
General
are.
Hospital did an Alzheimer's storyline.
Mhm,
That's why.
mhm,
That's
mhm.
related. So there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else do
Uh,
you want to say about General Hospital? Trina had laryngitis.
mhm.
Um,
It seemed like
let's
we just
see.
got sort of fleeting glimpses of a lot of people and no real
Yeah,
content, you know?
yeah. I had
Like
an
nothing
annoying
deep.
another one more annoyed moment, and then I'll stop being annoyed. Um, Zeke. Okay, so Zeke and Jordan were hiding under the
Mhm.
table there, and
Mhm.
then when they're having a conversation with, I think it was Dante. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Dante and Zeke and Jordan standing there,
Mhm. Yeah.
and like Zeke like doing the talking for
Uh-huh.
Jordan with Dante,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was
and
like I had to like ask myself, doesn't doesn't she work with Dante?
right, I was like, mansplain much? You know, like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And I've
Uh-huh.
got to get her to the hospital. I got to
I
get the
know.
little lady, the little woman to the hospital. I was like,
That all felt
oh my
weird. Yeah.
God. Did you go
Uh-huh.
to the same finishing school as Curtis or something?
Yeah, maybe that's her type. I don't know, but yeah, and I didn't really think there was any urgency. Maybe for him to get there to help Portia, but Jordan,
Yeah.
didn't
I thought that
seem.
was the strangest
Yeah.
writing. Like,
Hmm.
why? Unless they were doing that to show just sort of a dinky side of a new character.
Or maybe they
But
thought he was being like a real gentleman, like helping to whisk her off. But if that was the
is
case,
that
then
what
it
the
did not
writers are
work.
like? Is that what the writers think like? That's
I
what I'm
don't know.
wondering.
I don't know,
Are they
Gia.
writing for women of a completely different era?
Maybe, maybe. Or I think they're writing for women who are women, not women who wear men's clothing.
I don't know. I'm going to push back on that. That's not women don't want that. You know,
I
she's
know, I
freaking supposed
know.
to be acting mayor now, and
Yeah.
he's a newcomer in town. So if you even take away the sort of my feminist militant
Hmm.
stance on it,
Hmm.
and you just go by okay, Dante and Jordan
Yeah, I know.
work
They're pretty
together,
much friends, and so yeah,
and
she would
she's
have.
his boss, and
Yeah,
why is Zeke like taking control of the conversation? It was just bizarre.
yeah. Well, and she said we have to stay. We're witnesses, and it seems like coming from her, that should be enough.
Right, right, yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know. So I'm not sure about Zeke now. And
yeah,
even after he said that, I started looking at him and I thought, yeah, he's kind of beady eyed.
yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
beady eyed.
And
I don't know.
there's always this like dynamic, and I guess it goes both ways. But like with someone, like they act like the other person is just playing hard to get. And if you just like persist enough, eventually, you'll get what you want.
You mean he's trying to pursue her and she's playing
Yeah,
hard to get? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what the show will have her doing, like basically, right? Don't we think she's going to be worn down and you
Yeah,
know
probably. I will say though also that I think that Jordan has warmed up a great deal since they've given her some story to run with.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, I feel like we've seen a lot more emotion from her, um, different sides of her, other than just
Mhm.
the cop side that we were
Mhm. Yeah.
complaining about.
Right. Right.
Um, Oh, I know another scene we haven't talked about is Esme and Spencer and the parenting
Yeah, yeah,
class.
uh-huh.
You don't like it, do you?
Well, it makes me uncomfortable.
Down there
Down
or
there. All over. No, I don't know how I feel about that either. I mean, it does feel like there's something inevitable happening,
yeah, yeah,
which is not going to be good for Trina or it looks like Joss, because Joss is going to insert herself right in the middle of this, since she,
yeah. That's her
you know,
way. Yeah.
yeah.
Um. Yeah, but I kind of like it. I like this new Esme
Hmm.
and I don't know. And again, the whole like having a child together thing. It would be it's not his child, but they're acting as
Hmm.
parents, and that would be very tough to not sort of fall into
Hmm.
that role together.
Yeah,
Um.
right. Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I like it. I
Yeah,
think
and
it's
Spencer does seem to be like actually like looking at her with new eyes.
right. Right. Like he might be convinced that she's for real. Like
Yeah, yeah.
so.
So that'll be
I don't know.
interesting. Oh,
Kind of interesting.
what I was gonna say is it seems it's funny to me that like Laura and everybody they're in, where are they now, Gia?
Chechnya. Chechnya. The Chechen Republic, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I'm still sort of like puzzled why they made it seem like Ava and Austin were gonna try to delay that trip, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah, they didn't pursue that at all. It's just sloppy
No,
writing, a lot of sloppy
yeah,
writing.
and we're not seeing them in Chechnya, which seems like a
Right?
real missed opportunity.
Not enough blood, only 2 iced lattes,
I know.
no scenes of Chechnya,
Yep, yep. We could have learned about another
which we could have
country.
learned about. I don't know a thing about Chechnya. I wouldn't
I
know
don't.
whatever scenery they showed me. I would have bought the
Yeah,
set.
they
You know
probably
what I
could have reused the rocks from Greenland.
right, right.
You know.
I kind of noticed this is a tiny little thing, but when Dante slid the couch back and found the rifle or
Uh
whatever it
huh.
was,
Yeah. Uh huh.
it actually looked like that wall was a little bit bashed up, and it made
Uh
it
huh.
feel more real to me,
Uh huh.
rather than a set,
Uh huh.
just like a
Yeah.
hotel wall would be all kind of
Uh huh.
bashed up behind a
Uh huh.
couch.
Yeah. Uh huh.
If it were a motel I were in, there'd be like a big ball of hair or some disgusting
Yeah.
something left under there, like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
piles of wads of food,
Uh
mold
huh.
or something there.
Uh huh.
But anyway, did you
Gosh.
notice that?
Yeah, it didn't look like it was like firmly attached, right? Like the edge where it met the floor, kind
Yeah, and it just looked a little bit bashed or
of.
something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
bashed in. So,
Mm-hmm.
so points for that. But
Okay.
don't forget the iced latte next time.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So we don't know what's happening in Chechnya. I mean, it should be a dangerous place. So
Right.
are
Yeah.
we gonna eventually see them?
See
Like,
them dodging bullets or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah. Yuri leading the way, like
right, yeah,
bravely leading the way, telling
yeah,
them how to order breakfast and whatever.
yeah, yeah. I
It's
think,
it's it's a setup for some fun stuff. But I feel like they're just going to let him go and come back and tell about it and not, you
yeah,
know.
maybe, yeah, yeah. I don't know. It feels like there's just either I don't know. There's too many storylines and not enough time spent on any of
Yeah,
them consistently or something. I don't know.
we're
But
just in complain mode again, apparently.
I guess a little bit, a little bit.
Although, like you said today, there was action, and so it felt like momentum, even though it was
Mhm,
sort of poorly done. I thought.
mhm, yeah,
I
I
even
like
felt like
seeing.
the shooting scene just didn't have the momentum that it should have had, or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe just a lack of people. Like it felt like maybe we've just watched too many ERs, and there's so much like everything's on
Mhm,
a
mhm.
thousand all the time, like,
Yeah, yeah.
and it felt like, well, if that were really a scene happening, there would have been like people screaming and running. And there was a little bit of that, but I guess the lack of extras is what's. I think there were a few extras I noticed, but
yeah. And so also, it sounded like some of the hotel overlooks the pool. So the pool is on like a lower tower, and then there's a higher tower.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Although we thought it was the roof, didn't we?
Yeah, it must be the roof of one tower or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't know. That's a little weird.
It was a little weird. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
And it still feels like a weird place to hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you notice the sconces that I talked about?
Shoot, I didn't.
Oh my God, they were very prominent in these scenes today.
I was mesmerized by the glowing balls in the pool. I was glad to see them back.
Right. But my favorite extra today was that you might know which one.
There was the cop.
Yes, I loved him.
He had the look of a contest winner, didn't he?
Sort of like a little sort of pudgy and the curly hair, and he seemed like
sincerely happy to have their cooperation.
Yeah. It's like, who's this guy? Bring him back.
I know.
Make him a regular.
Build a massive story around him.
Yes.
He could be like the new character that everyone revolves around, you know?
I'd like to know what kind of dog he has at home.
Oh, I would too. Yeah. Yeah.
And
that'd be nice.
We haven't talked about Eileen in a really long time.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
Poor Eileen.
Yeah, maybe he could be the cop who couldn't let her murder go.
Right, exactly. I mean, Eileen right now, like Eileen could have been acting mayor. That should have been acting. She should have been acting mayor when Laura went to Chechnya, but no.
Definitely, yeah.
Laura's forgotten all about her. I'm a little disappointed.
She really has, yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got, I guess.
Yeah, this was some super content.
Super. Hey, have you heard anything about Marshall coming on, talking about?
Talking to us? Not yet. Yeah. No.
Your friend Adam is never going to contact you again.
He's
That's the end of a beautiful friendship.
I know. He's probably forwarded my email address to Marshall and said, you don't want to respond.
Avoid if you get any. If you get any correspondence from this,
call the police.
Just put it in spam immediately.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anywho,
right, okay, it was still fun. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's always fun, Gia, and I hope. I guess, are you gonna just be stuffed up like throughout your landscaping career?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I don't know. It's all right. I've got some Benadryl. I'll be all right.
Okay. All righty.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
All right, okay. Well, thanks for listening, people. We appreciate you.
We do. We owe you something for putting up with us.
Yeah. But the medical advice alone is probably worth a listen.
Yeah, the cautionary tales that we present.
Put out there. Yep.
Just do, if whatever we're doing, do the opposite.
Yeah, the George Costanza. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Okay. Good night. Good night, Gia.
Good night, Keisha. See ya.
Bye.